Hey, everybody. Welcome to Choice, Change and Action podcast. So, you're into the new year now, 2026. I don't know about you, but for me, this year felt like it was already there. And most of the people I'm talking to seem really happy and relaxed, including myself, which I'm really grateful for. You might be able to hear a bit nasally. I would have said that I've had like flu-like symptoms the last 24 hours. And I also get that there's a lot changing in my body, with my body choices, etc. as well. So I guess one thing too is, what if when you have something up with your body, you never look at it as, this is a problem or something I have to fix. It's like, what information is your body giving you that you maybe are not hearing or you're not listening, etc. And what could you choose? So I've had yesterday and today are the 2 days that I've had pretty much nothing scheduled. I'm doing this podcast because I really want to get this out in time for, I'm just about to start a Business Done Different class. And what I want to talk to you about today, I know is going to come up a lot in the Business Done Different class. And I thought, what a great way to invite you to that anyway. But here's the thing, 2 days and I've got like nothing scheduled. And I was waking up yesterday morning and I realized I was doing this thing of going, oh, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Whether it's like, working on a project or answering emails or cooking or, moving my body or, that thing where you decide to clean out your office or anything. But I stopped and I was like, okay, instead of what can I do, what can I be today? So what, even if you just started with that, what can I be today? What magic can I be today? And what can I be today? Now, what that also, okay, so this sort of goes into what I want to talk about, because something we've been looking at recently in Access Consciousness is, well, the convergence of possibilities. We'll put a link below. Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane here they gifted everybody in Access these 2 calls. Actually, there's a few things going on. There was the convergence of possibilities, which I think you can still register for it. You'll get that. You'll get the audio, etc. And they did a second one. And then Dane also gifted an ESC, which is energetic synthesis of communion. And he also gifted another call from his You Got This, which is similar to, well, not similar, but same, but different. I have the Profit Club. If you don't know about the Profit Club, I'd love you to join up this year. It's $28 a month. You get 2 calls with me, not for me, with me. And we generally talk more about money and business. And yet, profit is about everything. It's like the kindness you are today, the nurturing you are for you today. It's, are you happy? It's like, how you ask for and look for that profitability in everything. Okay, it's not just the amount of money you get after you pay the bills, right? So anyway, that's the Profit Club with me. But we've got with Dane, he's got a membership called You Got This, and it's awesome. And he gifted one of the calls, and he was talking a lot about what I want to talk to you about today. So if you want, in the notes below, we'll give you the details that you can sign up for those and you can receive those. Happy New Year, okay? So the MEST reality is about MEST, so matter, energy, space, and time, okay? So you've got the MEST reality, which is what we've been told this reality is created by, right? Matter, energy, space, and time. Now, you've also got what Gary and Dan were both talking about, and I'm so excited about this because it matches the energy of what I know is possible, of what I know I am, and yet, we choose less than, which is like, why the fuck would you choose less than, when you do something and you're like, what the fuck am I doing with this? That's not me, okay? So what if the convergence of possibilities is the place where you literally, as you being questioned, you converge with possibilities and you allow more to show up. Like I said the other day, it's like when you be an energy that is a part of being the convergence of possibilities, it's like the universe is giving you a high five and going, yeah, come on, let's play. Okay. So let's look at, and I really am excited to talk about this in regards to business and money. So I do have a Business Done Different class coming up. I think it starts tomorrow by the time you listen to this. And because if you look at business, how many people function from business through the messed reality rather than actually being in question and functioning from the convergence of possibilities? So, what the hell do I mean? Okay, so the messed reality is the place where it gives you the place where you start to look through the programming. So, say, you have industry standard. What the hell is industry standard? Who created industry standard? Like if you look at Richard Branson, who I have a strong admiration for, and a lot of his books, etc. One of the books I've quite often referred to is called Business Stripped Bare, and he talks a lot about all the choices he made in business, and where he was rejected, and yet he chose again, and he chose again, and he chose again. He asked another question. He asked another question. So if you look at industry standard, let's take for example when he started Virgin Atlantic. There was British Airways, and he was starting Virgin Atlantic, and British Airways said, no, you can't do that. We've got this route. This is ours. We own this. And he was like, why? Why do you own that route? Why can't I fly it as well? And the messed reality would be that, British Airways went, no, this is the structured reality that we have created, and we now own this, and we will not allow anyone else to contribute anything. And he's like, I'm here. And here's total chaos, right? And by the way, mass reality is when you're trying to order everything. How much of your life, business, money, relationships are you trying to put into order? Stop it. It's like when you try and put it into order, you think you need to control everything. Has control ever shown you anything as great as being out of control? I know it's a really big question. And maybe you listen to this podcast again, and maybe you write that down, and you look at different areas of your life of, if you were willing to be out of control with your relationship, out of control with sex, out of control with money, with business, with friendships, with what shows up today, just be with that energy, because it's an energy. If you're willing to be out of control with all of those things that I just mentioned, could something different show up? Could something greater show up? Could there be more magic and miracles involved in the chaos of being out of control? What do you get? Yes or no? Now look at all of those different areas that I mentioned: money, business, relationships, sex, family, friends, colleagues, all of it, you just whatever it is, health, everything. Now I want you to look at the energy of you controlling it. How much can show up? Or can you only choose what you've decided is right and reject what you've decided is wrong? So then you function from a very linear perspective. You don't allow anything else in because you're controlling it. That's the messed reality. Now, I want you to have a look at both of them on energy. Remember, messed, matter, energy, space, and time. Okay, so as you use that energy to, put things, to control things, to function from an industry standard, to function from a program, you basically don't ask questions, you go to conclusion. It's an energy, okay? It's an energy that you choose so that you can function from the limitations of this reality. Now, I want you to have a look at the energy of being out of control, of absolute chaos, like introducing chaos. Anything can show up. Being out of control, that's an energy as well. It's like, what if everything was possible? What if there is nothing that is pre-programmed? That is a convergence of possibilities. Which one would you prefer? Which one have you been choosing, and which one would you prefer? I know for me, I've chosen a lot of the mess reality, the matter, energy, space, and time. Why? Because I'm a control freak. Are you a control freak? Do you want to get everything right? Have a look at that whilst judging that you're wrong. Now, I actually was talking to someone yesterday about this, and they were judging what was not showing up. And I said, what does that create? And what we got to was, well, it creates the judgment of judging what is not showing up will then create separation. Rather than being in question of like, wow, I'm so grateful for what is showing up. Now, what else is possible? Because if you look at that, I mean, that's a question that Access Consciousness has used for years. Okay, what else is possible? But most people will ask, what else is possible? What else is possible with my body? What else is possible with money? What else is possible with business? What else is possible with this project, etc.? Well, that's just a demand for more money, change in the business, blah, blah, blah. It's good. It's better than most because a lot of people are functioning from conclusion and this doubt and, all of this despair, So you are functioning from a greater possibility than most. What I would like to invite you to is when you no longer ask what else is possible based on the programming and the schematics and looking for an answer, when you ask what else is possible from the convergence of possibilities, you allow the universe and consciousness to contribute to you. Everything. And you allow everything to show up, not just what you've decided is the right choice. Okay. And it might mean, we've said for a long time too, it's like, if you're willing to let go of everything, you can have everything. And most people go, oh yeah, but I don't want to let go of that. Or I don't want to let go of this, etc. But if you're willing to, you can have something entirely different show up. Like there are possibilities available beyond anything you can ever imagine. What if 2026, I was nicknaming it the truly what the hell else is possible? Why not? Per que no. Truly, what the hell else is possible? Like, what else is possible? So let's look at the difference again of meshed reality and convergence of possibilities. If you're looking at your current reality and everything that you're choosing, so you look at everything that you're choosing. Are you happy? Is what you're choosing making you happy? Do you lace everything with judgment? Or maybe some of you wake up with a litany of judgment. That's a structured reality. It's functioning from the meshed reality of the matter, energy, space, and time. And it's not allowing for anything different to show up. And we ask for different, you ask for change, you ask for more choice, you bitch and moan about having no choice. Well, guess what? You have infinite choice. And you're not as fucked up as you think you are. Truly, honestly, I'm not kidding. You're not as fucked up as you think you are. What if 2026 was truly what the hell else is possible? And you started acknowledging the brilliance of you. The brilliance of you. Let me give you a little scenario here. If you were born into this lifetime, came down to this planet, oh yeah, guess what? You're here. You chose it for a reason, right? You chose this body, not my body, your body. You chose your body. You chose where you were born. You chose your parents. You chose everything that's showing up. You chose to be here now. What are you choosing it for? Are you being all of that? What can you be today? As I mentioned right at the beginning, what can you be today? What magic can you be today? That's a convergence of possibilities. It's always the desire and the willingness to receive more possibilities because you can, right? So when I was talking about the industry standard, and that's right, I'll talk about I'm flipping all over the place, as one does. Leaving you on some cliffhangers. Richard Branson and Virgin Atlantic, he was like, yeah, I'm doing this. And he did it, right? So he created chaos by introducing Virgin Atlantic, which then also introduced other airlines being able to fly that route and no longer having that order and that control that British Airways had, where they said, no, this is ours. We started it. This is ours. No, it's not. What if there was no ownership? I mean, the same thing in Australia. We had Qantas and we used to have another airline. I can't remember what it's called at this stage, Ansett. And Ansett went bust. And then, so there was Qantas. So what did Qantas do? Man, did they up the prices like you wouldn't believe. Then Virgin Blue came in and Qantas said, there's not enough space. There's not enough room. There's not enough people. There's not enough business, blah, blah, blah. for Virgin Blue to come in. Richard Branson went, yeah, coming in, created absolute chaos. So then Qantas created what they call Jetstar. I nicknamed it Shitstar, and I probably shouldn't do that because every now and then I have to fly it and just hoping that nothing goes up. But it's not the greatest. But it's a cheaper airline, right? So it's Qantas, and then you've got Jetstar, and then you've got Virgin Blue, and there's some, local country ones in as well. But what he did by coming in was say, fuck your order, fuck the messed reality. I'm choosing a convergence of possibilities, and I'm going to introduce chaos. And from that, more possibilities show up. So where are you not being that in your business? I mean, if you look at the energy of, did you grow up with everything is possible? Look, when you were a little kid, was everything possible? Time didn't matter to you when you were a kid. When your parents would say 5 more minutes, and you'd be like, 5 more minutes. You had no idea what 5 more minutes was. That concept of time was introduced to you. And a lot of the time it's introduced to you based on judgment. How many times do you go, oh, I'm running late, or they're early, or there's not enough time, or I da 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 da. Where are you using time as an excuse to not choose what you could be choosing? Guess what? It's an energy. You create that as an energy. And so you're functioning on the mesh reality, and it's a way of holding in place and validating a limited, linear, structured, ordered reality. Because if you're functioning from time, it allows everything to only show up in a linear way. What's beyond time? Beyond time is the convergence of possibilities. It opens you up to more receiving. And receiving is receiving all energies from the entirety of the universe. From the entirety of the universe. I've just been listening to a podcast with Stephen Bartlett, an I think he's an astrophysicist. I'll just look up his name because I know I just took a photo of it because I actually want to have a look at some of the other stuff he's doing. It's quite amazing. I found it really interesting anyway. Neil deGrasse Tyson. And it's with Stephen Bartlett on Diary of a CEO, which I highly recommend his podcast. It's amazing. But what I was looking at as I was listening to this podcast is, he's talking about galaxies and solar systems and, black holes and all this. And he talks about being in question, which I love. He's like, most people won't ask questions. And he talks about really the importance of being in question. But as he's talking about all of this, you're like, gosh, there is so much that is possible. There is so much that's possible. What are you currently stuck on? Are you stuck on your money problems you think you have? Are you stuck on the business project that you've decided that you'd love to do, but you have all these reasons and justifications why you can't choose it? What if 2026 you went, God damn it, I'm choosing this? Are you stuck on trying to find the one? Are you stuck on wanting to be divorced but not choosing it? Like, what are you currently stuck on? That is the meshed reality, and it's a way of holding in place all of the judgments that you've decided are right, good, perfect, and correct. Just for a moment, I want you to play in this different energy with me of the convergence of possibilities. And maybe you're not as fucked up as you think you are. What if wherever you've decided you are stuck, you're not? Just for the moment. You can go back to being stuck later, okay? So, but right now, as you're listening, I want you to put your attention on your entire life, all those different, areas that I'm mentioning. Relax, like really relax. Every molecule in your body, and cell, which there's trillions of them. What if you could relax today? What if today and from now on, you chose to never be functioning from right and wrong again? Never. Never chose to order everything. Be willing for everything to go away and for everything to show up. Be willing to be in allowance of what is around you, of what you have chosen. Doesn't matter what you've chosen. What are you choosing today? And I want you to destroy and uncreate everywhere that it's being projected at you, because a lot of the times it's an energetic projection. It might be verbal, but it's an energetic projection or an expectation of you of what you should do, be, have, create, and generate. And I want you to destroy and uncreate everything that is, times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100 shorts, boys, proverts, creation spaces, and beyonds. And have a look at the energy of how much you've dedicated your life to living in the convergence with the mesh reality. And what if now is the time, as you're listening to this, to say, no more, fuck this. I'm actually going to choose to receive more today. I'm going to choose to dedicate my life to the convergence of possibilities, to ask every single day, what can I be today? Not what can I do, what can I be today? What can I be that would allow a different possibility to show up? What can I be that would allow the change that I know is possible, that I'm asking for? What can I be? Like, where are you not being brave enough to take some action? I mean, this podcast is about choice, change, and action. Where are you not being brave enough to take some action so that you can truly choose what would work for you beyond what is comfortable? Okay. Convergence of possibilities is actually stepping into a place that you are no longer looking for what is comfort. That's just being lazy. How many of you are choosing to be a lazy motherfucker by just choosing what's comfortable? Oh, whether it's a diet or, whatever. It's like, what are you not choosing with your body? What are you not choosing in relationships? What are you not choosing with money, business, sex, health, all of it? What are you not choosing that you could be choosing? What if it's time to have a different way to look at everything in your life? How many of you would be willing to choose a different reality? Be willing to choose a reality of magic? You have no idea what it's going to look like. No idea what it's going to look like. And really come out of that conclusion thing. So there's another class I've got coming up, and it's called Money Done Different. Now, I have a class that was scheduled. By the time this is out, I'm pretty sure it's going to be off the website. Was scheduled, called Getting Out of Debt Joyfully, and it's based on my book. Now, if you haven't got the book, Getting Out of Debt Joyfully, and you just go la 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 la, you don't even want to hear it, you might want to get it. Okay, it's available on multiple languages. It's on Audible, it's on Amazon, all those different places that you can buy books. Getting Out of Debt Joyfully by me, Simone Milasas. Okay, second book that I ever wrote. So there's classes available on it, and well, there has been, and they've been brilliant. Gosh, they've changed people's lives. But can I say, creating those classes is like pushing shit uphill. People just don't want to have a look at it. So number one, if you're in debt, they've never really wanted to, pay for a class, because then go, well, I'm just going to create myself to be more in debt. Oh yeah, guess what? That's messed reality, because you've already decided paying for something is not actually going to contribute to something greater. Now, if you're functioning from convergence of possibilities, you would ask a question, be like, okay, will this create something greater? Will this enable the possibilities? Will this enable the magic being in question? Okay. So the other day I was like, what is it about this class? What is it about this? And I kept asking questions, and it's been in my awareness for, a couple of months. And I'm walking up the stairs in my house, and I went, oh, I need to create this to be different, to change the name and to change it slightly. Because I have a lot of people showing up to this class who are not in debt. They have money, they've got investments, etc., but they're also like plateaued. It's like, how many of you plateau financially so that you can control it? Guess what that is? Messed reality. Everybody else is doing it, so you may as well do it as well. What if now is the time to change that? So I'm going to be doing a class called Money Done Different. And the whole idea is, because there's some really cool pragmatic tools that you can use with money that change your financial reality. I used them. I did it. There's literally thousands of people who have used the Access Consciousness tools with money and changed their financial reality. But guess what? You actually have to take some action, and you have to choose it. You have to take some action, and you have to choose it. Convergence of possibilities is the belief that there is magic, miracles, and introducing chaos you'll create something different. You'll have the difference, you'll have the greater, more. You have no idea what that's going to show up, right? It's not a judgment about, oh, the good stuff, the bad stuff. No, there is no judgment. But if you have the point of view, I'd like to change this, but I can't, then you're functioning from the meshed reality. So the meshed reality is about, the positive and the negative. It's, and if you had no positive and negative, what would you choose? Anywhere that you're like, oh, I can't ask for that to show up. I can't ask for that to show up because that's not the lifestyle I'm used to. That's not how I was born. That's not how I was bred. That's not my culture. That's not my religion. That's what my next door neighbor is not doing. Everywhere you are looking for why you are stopping what can show up is the meshed reality. So my strong suggestion is to go to the show notes and go get those calls I was mentioning because they're friggin' brilliant. Put them on a loop and listen to them over and over again. And anywhere that you have that like stuck, where you just go, oh, I don't have the willpower. I'm not brave enough. I'm not courageous enough. Fuck that. Pock and Pod, the meshed reality. You can literally just say that. Pock and Pod, the meshed reality. And it's where you always make everything so important and significant and make everything matter. What can I be today? What convergence of possibilities can I be today? Being questioned, ask that. And guess what? You know what? You might actually find out that it's more fun and it's more joyful to be functioning from a convergence of possibilities. Just saying. Why not give it a shot, ladies and gentlemen? So, got Business Done Different. I'm pretty sure it's starting tomorrow by the time you listen to this. I have many, many classes and lots of different things showing up. And there's a lot of access consciousness facilitators all around the world. If you're listening to this and you've never had your bars run, I highly recommend getting your bars run as well. Okay. We'll put a link in of where you can find bars facilitators. It's a hands-on process that I personally like my bars to be run for at least 2 or 3 hours. And you know what? 30 minutes is great. An hour is great too. It's like it starts to eliminate all of those thoughts, feelings, and emotions and all the stuck points of view that you believe are yours. What if they're not? Again, what if you're not as fucked up as you think you are? And what if you're more brilliant than you've decided you are? That's what I was going to mention before. I want you to picture yourself being born now here on this planet. What if your capacities, less than 1% of people on the planet had them? Now, I'm not saying you have to name your capacities. You may not have actually really acknowledged it yet. But if you had amazing capacities that less than 1% on the people on the earth had, would you choose it? Or would you hide them? Because they're not normal. Not everybody else has that. Will you please now unhide your capacities and your brilliance and start choosing all of you? Truly, what the hell else is possible? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining me. And if I ever get to see you somewhere in the world, come say hello. And please follow us on Instagram. There's a Choice, Change, and Action Instagram. Slide into our DMs. Tell us what you'd like to know more about. And thank you for being here. And thank you for listening. And thank you for being you. 2026, here we go.